Good morning, race fans, and welcome to Race Day. Mazda Road to Indy, presented by Cooper Tires, the only official ladder system designed to get drivers out of go-karting and all the way into the top level, the Verizon IndyCar Series. We're down here on the starting grid for the Cooper Tires USF 2000 Grand Prix of Toronto, presented by Allied Building Products, and I am very lucky to be joined by yesterday's race winner in round number 9. He's from Red Deer, Alberta. He's driving for Exclusive Autosport, a Canadian-based team. The man, Parker Thompson. Parker, phenomenal job yesterday. Tell me, how difficult is it to be fast around this very tricky 11-turn street circuit?
Toronto is one of the most difficult street circuits that we venture to all year. Really, you've got to touch the walls if you want to be faster. You got to get comfy with them. Luckily, my Exclusive Autosport car's been on rails all week, and it's been fairly easy for me.
Now, talk about the Mazda Road to Indy. There's a reason that you've been a part of this program for the last couple of years, and there's a reason you've come back to the USF 2000 Championship. What is it about the Mazda Road to Indy that is so attractive to a young driver like yourself who has dreams of one day racing in the top level of American open-wheel racing, the IndyCar Series?
Well, really, Tony, if you look at it, there's no other series in the world like the Mazda Road to Indy ladder. It helps us get up. So if I win the USF 2000 scholarship, or I win the championship, I get a scholarship in order to move up into Pro Mazda. If I win Pro Mazda, I get a scholarship to move up to Indy Lights. And if I get a win in Indy Lights, you move up to IndyCar. It's the only scholarship system like it. So that's why I think it's so attractive.
Parker Thompson with a great explanation. He's your winner from yesterday. Parker, thanks for the time. Good luck. Let's move just a little bit farther back here and talk to one of the drivers who Parker mentioned you got to touch the walls here to be fast. Well, he probably doesn't want me bringing this up, but here is one of the drivers that he did touch the walls. Unfortunately, it ended his race a little early. Team Pelfrey driver Robert McGinnis. Parker Thompson says you got to touch the walls here to be fast. Do you agree with that?
I don't know about touching them, but hey, you got to get as close as you can to open up the radius of the corners. I mean, with all the walls here, you know, you really have to get really close to them, and it can be a little daunting, but you just got to go for it.
Now, coming off your Rookie of the Year season last year in the USF 2000 Championship, you're back for a second season. I'm going to ask you the same thing as Parker. What about the Mazda Road to Indy, Robert? You come out of the New York State. What about this Mazda Road to Indy presented by Cooper Tires makes it so appealing for a kid like yourself who has dreams of one day racing in the IndyCar Series? Why are you racing the Mazda Road to Indy?
Oh, I mean, to start, it's a super competitive series. USF 2000, Pro Mazda, Indy Lights, they're all filled with great drivers. And I mean, this is the natural progression. I want to drive in the IndyCar Series. You drive on the Road to Indy to, you know, prep yourself to get there. This is the best place to learn. You drive on the tracks. You get to learn in smaller cars, and it's the best series I could possibly have picked, honestly.
All right, and then finally, quickly, what is the hardest part about racing here this week and in Toronto? And if you can, stay off the wall topic, what's the other hardest part about being fast and being successful here in Toronto?
I mean, this track is super challenging. I'd say the bumps and the asphalt changes. You have the concrete patches, which have no grip, that change into asphalt, which has a ton of grip, and there's all the bumps in the corners on the straights, the manhole covers. There's just a lot going on overall, and dealing with all that is really what gets you around this place.
All right, Robert McGinnis, thank you for the time. We spoke to race winner yesterday, Parker Thompson. Robert McGinnis in the Team Pelfrey car rolls off 6th. Again, folks, it is the 10th round of the 2017 Mazda Road to Indy. It's the Cooper Tires USF 2000 Championship powered by Mazda. We're getting ready to meet the starting lineup for today's second race.
The USF 2000 is green, green, green. Excellent start for Oliver Askew. Malukas wisely tucks in. Oh, contact here, the number 23. That's Lucas Cole. Something happened, Michael, coming out of turn number 11. Lucas Cole, hard damage. He's going to drive it off the track in turn 1, though. We may be able to stay green. Big damage to the left front of Lucas, but I think he's going to drive off at turn number 1.
We'll have Chandler Horton here in a second, but Anthony, did you get a chance to see that? I know you were filming down there at turn number 1. What did you see?
Yeah, I mean, the start was pretty crazy. So I think going through that last corner, they obviously accelerated as early as they can. And I think they were going pretty fast through turn 1 and obviously some contact with the wall there.
What do you think about that, Chandler Horton? Pretty crazy. We're going to see a little replay here real quickly. Wow, that was contact coming out. I think he had contact with the wall on the left-hander coming through turn number 11, the inside, Chandler. Is that what you figure?
Get up the inside of someone and make a move as quickly as possible, but it didn't work out. Either got the door shut on him or just didn't have any space.
A lot of racing further back. There's the Pelfrey drivers battling it out. That's McGinnis going out to green his feet. Cannon finally sliding into position. Now on the way out of the final quarters. And again, here's your top 10 inside run, first time by. Oliver Askew, not your leader. Alex Barron has gone to the lead in the number 4 for Arms Up Motorsports. Barron now your leader. Incredible run early on for Alex Barron. A winner here 3 years ago in Indy Lights. Barron now up front. Askew slots into second. Good battle, as I said, between VK and McGinnis, but Malukas goes third. Parker Thompson holding on to fourth. Michael Young. Now we start settling in. That opening lap chaos is behind us. Now the drivers can go to work.
Yeah, you want to get single file. You want to get these cars in alignment. That way you can, settle in, choose your points in the circuit where you want to attack. As we see Malukas down there in turn number 3 on the rear wing of Oliver Askew, and for Askew to lose that lead right out of the gate to Alex Barron. That's the guy we're really keeping an eye on. Alex Barron's been very good, not only last weekend in Iowa, but this weekend has been very impressive.
Potential contact, I believe, on the exit of turn 3 up to 4 as well. I saw a driver slowing. Chandler Horton, tell us a little bit what it's like to be behind the wheel here on some of these green flag starts. It's got to be a little hectic. The heart rate goes up. What's it like starting one of these races?
Yeah, it's really tough because especially when you're in active field, you've got cars behind you, you've got your on the mic, green, you're not trying to leave the car in front. You got to make sure you're defending behind, and especially when you get in that brake zone, it's really tough. You're trying to pass cars, but like they always say, you can lose it in the first turn, but you're definitely not going to win it. So I think that's the hardest part as a driver is the risk reward of the first lap, because here at Toronto, turn 3 is really the only true passing zone. So on the starts and the restarts, it's so critical to jump a couple people, but at the same time, like we saw with Lucas, if you have a problem, your race is over before it even starts.
Michael, it really is that yin-yang risk-reward. It's the best place to time to pass when everybody's stacked up, but it's also the best time to end your race as well.
I love the fact that Chandler said the only true place to pass. You guys will find places to pass anywhere on this circuit, but we've got a good battle for the lead as Alex Barron, Oliver Askew, and David Malukas. They're 1, 2, 3 through turn number 5.
As well, looks like McGinnis has been able to get solid on his position in the 6th position. It's about a 1.5 seconds back to Devin Wojcik, Kalen Frederick, Darren Keene, and Dev Gore. A couple drivers already out of the race, as we said. Ricky Donison did not start. Trouble for De La Vera as well. He has not yet turned the lap. Lucas Gold coming in through turn number 11. He was able to get that car behind the wall over in turn number 1. To be able to stay clean and green. Trouble for Calvin Ming as well, number 22.
Keep an eye on that battle in the front, but a nice battle forming. Devin Wojcik and Kalen Frederick. That's the battle for 7th. Right down the front straightaway. Frederick in 8th, Wojcik in 7th.
New fast lapper, Parker Thompson. That car starting to come in. Parker about a second behind David Malukas right now, but just laid down a 113.2. Thompson, a full ½ second quicker than your leader, Alex Barron, in the Arms Up Motorsports car. Let's rewind to last year. Arms Up was able to be victorious here last year with Victor Franzoni. Here's a hard battle. That is Malukas going at it with Oliver Askew side by side. Well, that's the leader. Oliver to the inside, now outside. Now it's Barron holding to the inside in turn number 5, side by side from 3 to 5, Michael Young.
That was a pretty stout move. Oliver Askew had thought better of it when they got to turn number 5. He had that inside line, or the outside line inside when they got into turn number 3 and allowed the leader, Alex Barron, to take that lead. Boy, that could have been dangerous and a day-ender if he wasn't careful.
The beauty of that was they went side by side, ran together. Good pass there in turn number 8 as he follows again. Askew getting checked up a little bit. David Malukas able to get by Askew over in turn number 8 as they work their way to the front straightaway again. Here comes Barron, able to hold off the advances of Oliver Askew. Lead coming across the line, going to be almost a full second. Yeah, 1.2 seconds now. Askew, of course, just got pinched there, lost a bit of momentum, and of course, you make that mistake, Chandler, over in turn number 3 or 4, you're going to lose the momentum all the way over to turn number 8. You've seen that in many tracks in your drive.
Yeah, exactly, because once you come off I think it's 5, the left-hander, it's pretty much, it's straight away up until turn 8. So if you get a bad run coming off of 5 and you're sitting up coming into turn 8 there, which, another good passing zone. So
here comes Parker Thompson having a look to the inside as well. Your point leader, Oliver Askew, 2nd place yesterday, Michael Young, but right now he's having a bit of trouble. He's going backwards here.
Well, it's risk-reward, right? So he takes that inside line down into turn number 3. That puts him on the outside, so he says, thinks better of it. Then he falls back in line with Alex Barron. That allows David Malukas to get around him. So now you reset. Now you sit back and like, all right, I got to get my rhythm back again, try to attack again and get on that rear wing of Malukas. But now he's got Parker Thompson, who's extremely fast, trying to, chop it around like that.
Stacking everything up, too, because here comes Rita's VK. He's only a couple of car lengths behind Parker Thompson now. So 3rd, 4th, and 5th, a very tight match. Barron, though, with a good lead. Malukas pulling away a little bit. Further back, we did see that number 22 of Calvin Mink has returned to the racetrack. Malukas now with the fast lap. Good run here for David Malukas. Remember, Malukas only his third event in the Mazda Road to Indy. Top go-kart racer, won a couple of American titles, went to Europe and raced in Europe and won a European title as well in the X30 International Final at Le Mans, France. Here's a kid with a ton of talent. And we talked about that team. It's made up of all his karting engineers. They kind of said, hey, you know what? We found success in karting. Let's go buy a USF 2000 car and go racing. So BN Racing, their third event, already running second.
Not only impressed by just the talent that that young man brings to the series, but they've just accelerated. They just like they shot out of a cannon. Been so impressed with David Malukas thus far. Now Parker Thompson starting to really work over Oliver Askew, our points leader. Great battle there at the front. David Malukas not giving up on Alex Barron. That's a battle for the lead. So the field coming through turn number 8. Further back, still that Devin Wojcik, Caitlin Frederick battle. That's the battle for 7. Great battle for
And Derek Keen's not far back. That's 7th, 8th, and 9th. The gray number 7 of Wojcik, the yellow and black 81 of Frederick, and the orange and white number 36 of Derek Keen. That's a solid battle now. Keen back by just 3/10 of a second. Remember, Keen had an issue at the start of the race yesterday, but wisely they used that full session to battle. Caitlin Frederick in the 81 has now been able to go by Wojcik for 7th, so move Frederick to 7th, Wojcik back to 8th. Keen still there in 9th. Deb Gore rounding out the top 10. Here comes the battle coming down. Thunder Alley into turn number 3. A fight, I believe, for the lead. Indeed, Malukas on the outside. Barron defending to the inside. Another fast lap laid down. Malukas' car is just getting better and better, Michael.
Yeah, David Malukas, I think he was testing the waters a little bit. You get into the outside and get alongside a car, you'll have the inside line in turns 4 and 5. So if you can make that stick, that's the place to be. But Malukas checking up a little bit, but I think just testing the water, seeing how deep he can get into that turn.
Chandler, that is the racecraft you have to learn, right? You think you're going to make a pass in turn number 8, but you started over in turn number 3, right?
Yeah, I think Malukas there right now, he could be playing the chess game of forcing Alex Barron to check his mirrors. You know, we still have 20 minutes to go in this race. He only has to pass one car from the lead. You know, so we could see him coming to turn 3 a couple times in a row, taking the correct line so he doesn't use up his tires, brakes, etc. You know, not forcing the issue until he has to at the very end. Hoping Alex Barron potentially makes a mistake, locks it up, you know, etc. Goes in the wall.
And Michael, that's what it is, right? You never stop pushing. Pressure, pressure, pressure. Try to get him into a mistake. Make sure you're in his mirrors. Try him inside, try him outside. We'll do it again down here into turn number 3. You know that the leader, Barron's going to keep the inside defensive line. Malukas is going to try to go around the outside, locks up the right front a little bit. He's pushing.
And I think he has position.
Oh,
now,
almost.
Wow, Alex Barron
Yep.
just clipped him and defended that position. But that's what Malukas wants to do. He wants to get alongside, but thought better of it, checked up, but he went deep into that turn, locking him up.
And again, trying just to get enough that he's able to pinch him down, pinch Barron down. So when he tries to get back on the throttle on that concrete patch, the car's going to let loose a little bit. Once he gets that exit under or oversteer, that's going to allow Malukas to get that better run. As long as you get to the apex of turn 4, that's whoever gets to the apex of turn 4 has the position.
Just needs to be a little further alongside him to force Barron to go outside a little bit more so he can gain that advantage of 4 and 5.
Again, we said Arms Up Motorsports won last year in round number 2 here with Victor Franzoni, who is now your point leader in the Pro Mazda Championship, having moved up. Again, great battle up front here now. I'll tell you, Anthony Martin, you've been in battles like this before here in Toronto when you're head-to-head like that, mano-a-mano, trying to get that run around the outside. How hard is it to get in there, and how hard is it to hold that car on the outside?
It's extremely difficult. I mean, it's such a hard braking zone, and you really have to optimize your braking there. So, and around the outside, as you see, Malukas is right there. Barron's on the outside.
Oh,
contact!
Oh, drivers together! Contact! Oh, Barron wrecks. Oliver Askew gets stuck behind him. Top 3 drivers wrecking in turn number 3. Malukas got to the inside. Barron tried to hold the position. They made contact. Barron loops the car on the exit. He comes back across, takes the rear wing off of the car of Malukas. Askew with nowhere to go gets stuck behind. They are nose to nose, looking at each other. Alex Barron waving his hands, no wing for Oliver Askew. Parker Thompson back to the lead.
And the crazy sad thing about it is poor Oliver Askew, as we go full course caution. Oliver Askew, your points leader, is just sitting there back watching it happen. Now the entire field has passed him by. He'll drop to the tail end of the field.
So coming into turn number 3, Malukas had the position on the inside. No doubt about it, he had it. They were side by side coming out, but Barron wasn't going to give it up. He had enough of a position. Once, and we talked about that, you get into that concrete patch, it looked to me like maybe the car of Malukas might have just pushed a little bit. I'm sure we'll get a replay. Looks like it might have just pushed out a little bit, made contact with the right rear. That sent Barron into a spin, and he came straight back across.
I'll be curious to see the conversation, and we're looking at the rear end of the car, but the two drivers nose to nose right there.
I don't want to see the car.
No, I want to see those two drivers and what they have to say to each other.
Let's see the conversation. Oh, yeah.
Hamacho Safety Crew is going to break them up. We got a prize fight shaping up right now. Hamacho Safety Crew want nothing
This
of
is
it.
Mayweather-McGregor here in Toronto already. Yeah, the Hamacho Safety Crew, they do a good job taking care of our drivers, but also playing a little buffer zone between Alex Barron and David Malukas. That did not need to happen again. They were side by side.
Oh, look how frustrated he is right there. And Malukas rightly keeping that helmet on as the tempers flare. Let everybody cool down just a little bit. Barron doing the right thing, walking away. The last thing David Malukas needs to do now is go over and have a conversation. Although, as a driver, he wants to explain what had happened to Alex Barron. I don't think Alex Barron wants to hear it.
No, I think Alex is heading back to the Hamacho Safety Crew truck. He does not want to hear it at all. And again, that was just side-by-side racing. David had made a good run down the inside, but Alex hadn't given it up. He was on the outside as they came around. And again, we talk about that. When you're getting into that onto that concrete patch on the inside of turn 3, you're trying to roll back on that throttle. There's just no grip. Oliver Askew into pit lane. They pulled the wing off, got him back out to catch up to the back, and they'll put the other wing on again. So Askew's going to have time. We're probably going to go green with, let's say, 8 more minutes to go. So Oliver's going to try to work his way back forward here. But can you believe this? The battle up front has now left Parker Thompson into the lead ahead of Renus VK and Robert McGinnis. Caitlin Frederick up to 4th position. He started 13th, taking advantage of the chaos we have here, working lap
Discuss this, Chandler. You can touch on this as well. It's give and take here when you're in turn number 3. Obviously, trying to get that inside line. Wanted the advantage to take the long way around to the outside. But as a driver, as a leader, you don't want to give up the lead. But again, it's a give and take type of situation.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, as I said yesterday, that corner, it really bottled his neck, really narrow on the exit there. And we just saw, you know, 2 cars, they're pushing the limit out of the exit there. And, you know, unfortunately, the wall was coming up quickly and they just ran out of room. And to me, that's just one of those racing incidents. There's nothing you can really do. And, I mean, you can probably relate to that, Chandler. I mean, they just really bottlenecks at the exit there, and I mean, it just really gets narrow.
Yeah, absolutely. With the pavement change and everything, and how slippery it is, and I mean, yeah, you're pushing each other so hard that, you know, sometimes it just happens. That's what you call a racing incident. It'll be interesting to see if we do get a true replay, who might have initiated it, if Malukas got into Barron, which turned him, or if Barron just turned it on his own, or.
I don't think we're going to see the replay, but again, you're exactly right. It's a racing incident. What was it? Did Malukas' car push out when he got back on power? Did Alex try to pinch over a little bit to try to, you know, kind of take control of the situation? Again, we talked about it. When you come through 3, the first guy to the apex of turn number 4 is the guy that's going to get the run over to turn 5. Nonetheless, wild excitement here, Michael Young. First rung of the Mazda Road to Indy. These kids all racing for that scholarship, which would put them in the Pro Mazda Championship worth over $350,000 for 2018. A lot on the line. David Malukas, though, not in the championship hunt, but he wants to win.
And that's what he's here to do. We saw that one developing 2 laps before it actually happened. It just took it time to actually unfold. But now, Rob, let's reset the field, because that puts Oliver Askew, our points leader, down into the 11th position. He's still out there without a front wing, trying to catch the rear of the field. They'll get that repaired. He'll catch up to the rear end of the field. Might take a little bit longer to get that accident cleaned up in turn number 4 there. But it's really tossed this pack into, you know, Parker Thompson.
Halfway through the time right now, less than 50 minutes remaining. Oliver Askew, that number 3, now caught the tail of the field. We expect to see him dive into pit lane here now. Indeed, he did. Around 8, he'll dive into pit lane to the left. Not sure if we're going to get the 1 to go here yet. Not seeing anything. Looking at the pace car as he rolls by. No, lights still on the pace car at this point. No. I think they might have just went out. Michael Young looking down to see if we see. No. Unsure yet if we're ready to go back racing. But again, Oliver Askew coming into pit lane, currently in the 11th position. This is championship time for Askew. 11th, not bad considering the fact we've had so much attrition, although Calvin Ming back on track, so that will put Askew down into the 12th spot. As it stands now, though, the guy that took total advantage of this chaos, Parker Thompson, who won yesterday, trying to do it again here today. He leads over the 21 of Renus VK. The two Team Pelfrey drivers, 3rd and 4th now. Robert McGinnis in the 80, Kalen Frederick in the 81. Devin Wojcik, the teammate of Barron, now up into the 5th spot. Darren Keene runs in 6th. Dev Gore 7th. Jason Clooney 8th. Corey Enders 9th. Jose Sierra, top 5 yesterday, 10th right now. Askew and Ming still on. We'll have a dozen drivers going back at it here when we do go green.
Lights on the pace car still on. It's like a poker tournament. The deck has been shuffled, the field completely turned upside down, and Parker Thompson taking advantage of that, laying back there in 4th and just far enough back to avoid the melee that unfolded at the exit of turn number 3. Again, Thompson, VK, Renus VK going to be hungry as well. That's a driver to keep your eye on this restart.
Chandler?
Yeah, I think that's the driver to watch right now, because with Renus sitting 2nd in points, when we're talking about the chess game, is it worth it to, do a bonsai move into turn 3 or turn 8 and really push the envelope and, grab those 5, 7 extra points that may be the decider at the end of the year? Or do you sit back in 2nd, play it smart, and bring the car home? As we've seen here, there's a lot of attrition, so I mean, it'll be interesting to see if he does try to push the envelope. I think he does have to stay.
Great point. Going through his head. What do I do here? Where is all of them? Oh, he's in 11th and 12th position. Man, I can just hold this spot, because we know Parker Thompson's fast. I think he'd be able to hold him off. And you may be right, Chandler. He may be saying, you know what, I'm good with 2nd right now. I'll take the points. I'll head to Mid-Ohio. I'm good to go. But, Michael, racers are racing. I want the top step of the podium. I want to win. That's what we're going to see. It's going to be a great battle. Thompson versus VK as they're bringing the stricken car of Malukas into pit lane.
I'm curious, as drivers, when you see your car on a hook, is it a sickening feeling? I mean, that's your baby right there, and it's getting towed around on a hook. What is that sensation like when you see it on a video screen?
We'll ask Anthony Martin, because it came in on the hook last year here.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, yeah, as you just mentioned, thanks for reminding me.
I'm here for that. I'm here for you, bud.
I had my car on a hook last year. It's not a good feeling. I mean, you're going for a championship, and when it's on the hook, unfortunately, it's a DNF. So it's not a good feeling. But I mean, the teams always get it back together for the next races. So, but yeah, it is a sickening feeling, and it brings you down.
Anthony can take the solace, Michael Young, that he won the championship last year. Anyways, regardless of what happened here in Toronto, it may be a sore spot. He was able to win that and have a great stretch run through the end of the season last year. How about you, Chandler?
Yeah, I don't know though it's worse watching the car on the transporter, but when you get on the record, but when you get back to the transporter and have to look someone in the eye and say, I'm sorry or whatnot, and then you watch them work on it. For me, that's the worst. Is, but it's racing, it's life, and you look forward to the next one.
Yeah,
Move on.
You say to your teammate, Michael, can I help?
Exactly.
Can I get you a coffee?
What can I do? Field now rolling through turn number 7. They'll make their way through turn number 8. The lights are out on that pace car. We will go back to green this time by Thompson, VK, Robert McGinnis, Kalen Frederick, Devin Wojcik. They are your top 5. We have 13, 12 minutes remaining.
10 minutes remaining.
40 seconds. Here we go, back to green.
As Chandler Horton said from RJB Motorsports, he'll be back in the car in Mid-Ohio. Here they come. What's Renus VK going to do? Does he get aggressive? They'll work their way at 11. Parker Thompson punches off. Good little jump for Thompson. He'll get about a length and a half as they work their way up to turn number 1. VK going to have a look. Yeah, he does look to the inside. VK having a look to the inside over in turn number 1. No, can't quite do it. They'll settle back in again. The DE Force drivers going to work. Sierra able to get around, I believe, Calvin Ming out of turn number 2 again. Here's the run that Renus VK is going to want. Parker Thompson, though, with about 3 lengths. VK's going to watch out here for McGinnis coming from 3rd.
Yeah, Robert McGinnis taking a look to the outside down Thunder Alley. The entrance into turn number 3. McGinnis on the outside wants that outside line to go back to the inside. The two nearly touch and do as Kalen Frederick makes the move around.
And I'll tell you, McGinnis loses at least 3 spots. Frederick, Wojcik, and Keene all getting by Robert McGinnis as he tried to roll the outside. The similar thing that we saw with the contact, of course, between the leaders, both Barron and Malukas. This time they were able to get through, and actually was the driver on the outside, McGinnis, wisely getting out back off the throttle and holding on to position.
And Parker Thompson saying, thank you, guys. I'm going to check out.
Appreciate that. Thank you so much. And it's a big lead for Parker Thompson, like you said. Time winding down to be about 19 minutes when he rolls both across start and finish here. Parker Thompson, big lead now over Rinus VK. Wojcik now up in the third spot. Fourth is Frederick. Fifth is Keane. What a great run for Devin Wojcik. We watched him throughout the season. He's not qualified well, rookie in the program, but he always finds his way forward, stays out of trouble, gets some spots. He's been my star of the race a couple times because he's moved forward 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 positions every race. For him to podium here would be massive for this young driver.
And I didn't think, I thought his car was okay after Kalen Frederick got around him, but now he's able to battle his way, and as you said, potentially on the podium.
Remember, Kalen Frederick started down in 13th position, now starting to put some pressure here on Wojcik for that 4th spot. What a run here for Darren Keane, the young rookie as well. Keane for Newman Walks Racing, currently running in the 5th spot. McGinnis 6th. Dev Gore down to 7th. Good battle between Gore, Enders, Clooney, and Sierra. So 2 of the exclusive Autosport drivers battling with 2 of the DE Force drivers for the final positions inside the top 10. Of note, Oliver Askew does not continue Michael Young. It's a 12th place finish for Oliver Askew. This champion got turned right around. Thompson coming right back.
About 20 points behind right now, 21 to be exact. So just to get to the top step of that podium will help that championship fight for Rinus VK.
And if it finishes where it is right now, Parker Thompson pulls within 80 points. Now, that's still a lot of points. 33, the most you can get in a race weekend. But all it takes is another one of these DNS for Askew and Thompson to go on a run. He was very strong at Mid-Ohio last year. Parker Thompson, the exclusive Autosport driver, looking to do back. Oh, contact!
Trouble.
Contact coming through turn number 2. Michael called it trouble in turn 2. Not sure if they were if that driver was able to hold on to that and not go in the wall. That was tremendous. Someone was sideways coming out of turn number 2. Contact left front to right rear, Michael. Unbelievable.
And that was that battle, I think, in the back. The Sierra Clooney.
Agreed.
Yeah, I think that was that battle.
I want to say that Sierra might have gotten to the back of Gore. Dev Gore potentially saving that car. What a fight here right now. Enders, Gore, Sierra, and Clooney battling it out for the final positions inside the top 10. There they are coming through turn number 6. There's your leader through turn 8 as they come into that braking zone now. Looks to be like Kalen Frederick has been able to get by Devin Wojcik in the 3rd spot, so Frederick in the 13th up into 3rd.
Well, they're not going to give up trying to tear up equipment this
They're
Saturday. They're giving their all.
6.5 minutes remaining. Good fight. Robert McGinnis trying to get things going again as he tries to reel in Darren Keane for that spot in the top 5. Driver actually coming forward is the 22 of Calvin Ming. Ming's been able to work his way into 11th. He's got and battling with now with Dev Gore.
And I think it was Gore that got sideways
Agreed.
and lost those positions, but what a save that was down at turn number 2.
Huge save, Chandler Horton, and a part in the racetrack where you're full throttle.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I haven't raced here, but in the pace cars even, I mean, you can feel the lean you have in the car here, so I can't even imagine with these things, you know, getting on it and then getting pitched sideways like that at, you know, probably close to 100 miles an hour. So, you know, good save for Dev there.
Full handful of steering wheel, opposite lock, stay on the throttle, bring it back straight. Nice job for Dev Gore, the driver out of Atlanta, Georgia for exclusive Autosport, currently running P10.
You have the benefit of wings and downforce, but it's still very fragile car, and very nimble, and you get a bounce in that car will want to jump across the track.
Yeah, exactly. Especially too with how dirty it is. You grab a little bit of that rubber really quickly. So you get out on the marbles and you're out on the wall before you know it.
Again, great run here from Kalen Frederick in the number 81 as he's been able to go by Devin Wojcik to take that 3rd position. Final step on the podium. Wojcik runs 4th. Darren Keane having his best career run here in the 5th position. 5 minutes remaining. Just about 5 minutes to go here. Probably 3 to 4 laps for Parker Thompson, who has a 1.5 second advantage, very similar to what he had yesterday. 1.5, he was able to hold it. They would close up to 1.2. They'd get on the radio and say, Parker, we need another 10th out of you, and he would go do it. Really managed to lead well yesterday.
Yeah, Rinus VK doing a good job last time by, about a 0.3 of a second. Better lap than Parker Thompson, but Parker Thompson in command. And it was interesting when he was laying back there in 4th. I didn't really think he had as good a race car as he had yesterday, but that clean air up front, he is checked out again for Rinus VK.
You never know what's going to happen. Something, you know, it's good to be lucky and lucky to be good. He's a very quick driver, but got some luck. Those drivers out front got a better jump on him. It was going to be a good fight between Baylor and Askew for the race. But early, like Thompson, wasn't to be part of the fight, but you never know what's going to happen. Storyline, Parker Thompson finds himself back up front. trying to pull away again. 1.5 seconds was the gap last time by. So roll into turn number 1. That gap now down to 1.4, but still very manageable as we're looking right around 4 minutes remaining. Probably 3 laps if we're lucky.
I would say 3 laps would be probably where we stand. Don't think they'll be able to get themselves around the circuit quick enough to get a 4th lap in.
You know what else is looking good is Corey Enders in that DE Force blue number 11. He's starting to roll up on McGinnis, was quicker by about a 10th last time by, just 1.2 back. If he's able to get up and challenge McGinnis, that could pull McGinnis back from challenging Keene for the top 5. 5th, 6th, and 7th pretty close together.
And you remember Corey Enders had trouble getting that car started at the beginning of this race. So for him to get up to 7th, that's a good run for him.
Up front, though, Parker Thompson, that Canadian team, the Canadian driver, exclusive Autosport from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. Of course, Parker from Red Deer, Alberta, won here last year as well. This would be his 3rd win here in Toronto, and I'll tell you, the emotion he had when I interviewed him yesterday, draped the Canadian flag. Man, this is his Indianapolis 500 to be able to win here in Toronto, like Paul Tracy did in the past, like the great Canadian drivers have done. 1.4 seconds gap last time, and that's again, green check. The advantage held by Parker Thompson, 1.3 seconds. Slowly coming closer, both drivers though turning 112.1.
Nice battle that I think is going to really shape up before this thing's over is that Wojcik-Keene-McGinnis battle. Those 3 cars running nose to tail right there.
They're separated by about 0.6 of a second, all 3 cars. So it's gearbox to gearbox to nose. And again, Keene trying to hold them back. They're side by side. This time to the outside goes McGinnis, I believe. Here they come down into turn number 3. There is Frederick. They're 3 wide. 3 wide. Great hold there. I think that's actually Keene by Wojcik. Darren Keene to the inside, book it in turn number 3. Keene goes to P4.
Boy, and Robert McGinnis decided to go 3 wide, thought better of it, but a great pass by Keene getting around the Wojcik machine.
And you don't think Corey Enders is ringing his fist going, come on, guys, keep battling, I'm coming. He wants them to fight.
And they're not giving up. They're going to go into turn 8. They're going to continue that battle.
Robert McGinnis, winner in St. Petersburg back in March, would like to get a victory here. It's not going to happen. He wants to try to get on the podium clearly.
I think Wojcik's upset that he lost that position because he's all over the rear wing of Keene right now, trying to return the favor.
And they're coming through turn 10. That off camber up on the car. The car's starting to get a little bit loose on him. Here comes McGinnis. He'll look to the inside of Wojcik. He does. McGinnis tucks to the inside over to turn number 3. To the inside. Book it. Good pass there. Robert McGinnis, textbook in turn number 1.
And Devin Wojcik just thinking to himself, man, I just want to get my rhythm again. You guys keep attacking. Just give me a second. Let me catch my breath.
Well, we're going to do it here down the straightaway again. Look at Wojcik going to the outside. They're side by side down Lakeshore Boulevard. Keene with 4th, but the great battle here for 5th position. McGinnis has the inside line. Here comes Corey Enders in the blue DE Force car. Right there, Enders in P7.
That was another great pass. Robert McGinnis able to make the pass back around Wojcik. Well done for Robert McGinnis. Parker Thompson, 1.1 second lead. Looks to be white flag, I would imagine, this time by.
We will look down the straightaway and see if Parker will see the white flag. We're going to give him a lot of love because we're stuck on this battle for 4th, 5th, and 6th,
It's been
and
a great
7th.
race.
Wow. Young drivers in this Mazda Road to Indy doing a great job. USF 2000. White flag flying from Tom Hansing. One more lap. Can Parker Thompson do it here? And he wins both ends of the doubleheader in USF 2000 in his home country. The flag's going to come out again if he can get the job done. Renus VK closes it down to less than a second here. VK doing everything he can down the back straightaway. Thompson goes to the bottom of the racetrack. He'll defend all the way down. Has no idea if he's right there. He'll come back out. Good line. About 4 or 5 car lengths. I'll tell you, VK is closing up big time here in the final lap, Michael Young.
He is going to have to get very brave in these final turns if he wants to close in on the rear wing of Parker Thompson. Getting to him may be a little bit easier than getting around him. I don't think Parker Thompson is going to give that one up.
Just got to get out of turn number 8 and cruise it through 9, 10, and 11. Here comes Parker Thompson for exclusive Autosport. They scored the team's first victory yesterday here in Toronto. The young Canadian out of turn 8 through turn number 9, 10. Can you believe it? Oh, Canada, ladies and gentlemen, out of turn number 11. Back to back jacks for Parker Thompson on the streets of Toronto. Thompson victorious in USF 2000. Renus VK, great run to second. Caitlin Frederick in third. What a drive for Darren Key. Fourth position. McGinnis gets fifth. Wojcik in sixth spot, I believe. Seventh goes to Corey Enders.
Double win weekend here at home. Parker Thompson in USF 2000. How's that feel?
Unbelievable, honestly. I mean, I've said it before, I'll say it again with this Canadian team, Exclusive Autosports. We were a bit of underdogs coming into this race. Obviously, we haven't had a great season, but at the end of the day, we've had lots of podiums, lots of top fives. We've had a pole before, but to come in here and clean up is unbelievable.
What does it mean and what does it feel like to sweep the weekend anywhere, but especially here at home?
Well, I tell you what, last year I possibly took some wins for granted. This year I know how hard it is to win on the Mazda Road to Indy, and it is extremely hard, let me tell you. So to come in here and clean up in my home race, it means everything to me, and it means everything to the Exclusive Autosport crew, and hopefully it means everything to the Canadian fans.
Parker Thompson, incredible job this weekend. Congratulations.
Thank you, Tony Laporta, and the rest of the Road to Indy TV crew.